Okay, so yesterday in class we learned about data in variables. So the first thing we learned in the class is about numbers and operators. Let me just find it. JavaScript allows us to perform mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, which are the examples given below. So if you open your console and type in this equation, it will give you the answers, and the answers are the ones in purple. And then the next thing we learned is variables. So variables allow JavaScript to name values using, sorry, JavaScript allows us to name variables using variables. To create a variable, you go into your console and type in a variable called Nick, var Nick, like this one over here. And then another example is our age. So we're going to type in var age and then say our age is 12. And if we ask JavaScript to tell us our age, just type in our age without opening a new variable, it will give us the answer 12. The next thing we learned is strings. So strings are a sequence of characters used to represent a text. They are either enclosed in either single quotes or in double quotes. So this is a single quote. This is a single quote and this is a double quote. So this is how you create a string. Let's say you want to do a greeting. Let me just look for this example. Oh, sorry. This is the first example of strings over here. So here we write hello world and to print out hello world. And then the next one is joining strings. So when we use joining strings, we want to join two words into a sentence. Like this example. So we can say var greeting equals to hello var my name is Nick. And now we want to put greeting and my name together, and this is what JavaScript will give us. And then the next thing we learned is booleans. So booleans, the first operator that we learned is that I understand is the or operator. Let me just get it. Okay, can't find it. Okay, here is the or operator. So the or operator checks if at least one of the conditions is true. Like here at the bottom, has apple is true, and then has orange equals to false. So has apple or has orange, the answer will be true because JavaScript always checks for the true answer before the false answer. So if it finds the true answer first, then the answer will automatically become true. But if there's no truth, then it will be false. And then the next operator is the exclamation mark, which means not. So this operator inverts the Boolean value. Let's say you want to check if a person, let's say if, like that example given, var is weekend, so the week it is weekend, it's going to equal to true. Var needs to shout today equals to not weekend, but we said it's weekend. Now we put the this operator in front of is weekend, so now it's saying it's not weekend, so need to shout today, the answer will be false. And then we learned comparison operators. So the comparison operators is the greater than sign, and this operator checks if one number is greater than another. And then if you look at the example, the var restriction is the var is 65, the var restriction is 60. So is the height greater than height restriction? The answer will be true because is this number bigger than the height restriction? That's what it's asking us. And then we have less than, which is the opposite of greater than. And here's an example. Let me just check for the example. So here we have the height restriction is 48, height is less than, height restriction will be 4. So it's basically the same thing as greater than. And then we have special values, which is null and undefined. So when null is used when you want to deliberately say this is empty, and undefined is given by JavaScript if there is no value. So basically that's what it means. And then also we're moving on to chapter 3. So in chapter 3, we learned about arrays. Arrays can store a collection of elements in, yeah, that's basically it. So how to create a array. To create an array, you need to use the square brackets, and to separate the elements, you need to use your commas. And then accessing the array elements is they are accessed using the index starting from 0. So when we count in JavaScript, we always start from 0. Like here's an example, the dinosaur 0. And the first one was a T-Rex over here. So 0 is T-Rex because we always start from 0. And then our next one is adding elements to an array. So let me just go down here. To add an element to the end of an array, we can use the push method. So the push method basically means, so let's say we own a zoo and we want to buy animals. So we're gonna say buy animals equal to our brackets, obviously. And then we're gonna type in animals dot push, and we want the cat, so we're gonna add cat in, so it's gonna give us it. So we have cat, now we have one animal. Then we're gonna do it again with the dog. Now we have two animals, and we're gonna do it again with another animal, and we want the llama, so now we have three animals in total. And then to remove elements from an array, to remove the last part of an element, you can use the block pop by adding at the end of an array name. So basically, let's say we want to get rid of a llama, and now we're going to say var last animal equal to animals dot pop, and the last animal equal to last animal, and the last animal is llama. So you can see in the second row, the llama is disappeared. And then finding the index of an array, you can find the index of a specific element using the index dot method. We look for the positions of the color and we start counting from 0. Like I said, if we do start counting from 0 in JavaScript. So these are the colors that we have, and we want the color of blue. So it's 0, 1, 2, and that is how we got our 2. And then finally, turning an array into a string. You can turn an array into a string using the join method. It also combines all elements of an array into a single string with a specified separator in each element. So basically, to get rid of all the spaces and the brackets, we're just going to say var boring animals equal to, and then we type in our animals, and then we're going to say boring animals dot join, and now it's going to get rid of all the brackets and the spaces. And that's what I understood about the lesson. That is it.